did not go back through my recipe 100% on my bread and butter pickles. So let me show you what I'm doing now. So on these, you put your, I divided them up so it'd be a little easier. So I put a half a cup of salt and split between the two, and I chopped up little onions. Chopped up the little onions and I sliced them, and then I spread them over the cucumbers. And then we have to put ice on there. So I don't know if I have enough ice. I'm gonna do what I can. All right, so what I'm gonna do, all I have is this. You need you need crushed ice. I don't have that. So you're just gonna cover that. Which is not very good, but that's, like I said, the best I can do. We're just gonna kind of mix it all up and let it sit. It's supposed to sit 3 hours. I don't have that kind of time today. So I'm gonna let it sit an hour. And then when I come back, it'll be ready to go. So once it sits 3 hours, we have to rinse it. And then we have to drain it. Then we're gonna have to rinse it again and drain it, because there's salt in here and you don't want it to be too salty. And then we'll put all our things together, and from there it won't take long at all. All right, we'll be back. All right, as I'm about to start with the cucumbers, I have a visitor. Let's see. Are you helping me in the kitchen? You're looking like a pretty girl. That's my helper, Izzy. Yes. Say hi. Say hi. All right, so I've let my cucumbers soak. They've soaked about an hour in the salt water brine. I've already drained them. I've rinsed them twice and I've drained them. So they're ready to go. So let's see what else we've got to have for the bread and butter pickles. These are a sweet pickle. All right, so we have our cucumbers. This is approximately 4 pounds. 5 cups of sugar. I've already done my pickling salt and my vinegar. So those are done. We'll get those out of the way. And we did salt too. So we're gonna have 2 tablespoons of mustard seed. I think it's a teaspoon of turmeric. I'm gonna probably lower that down, maybe a half a teaspoon. Whole cloves. It says to crush them, so I'm not gonna use the ground. I'm just gonna kind of break these up and put those in there. And celery seed. Oops, sorry, I had it backwards, celery seed. All right, well, it's the same process with the jars. You're just gonna boil them. So I'm gonna get those going, and once we get ready to start pickling, these all go into, all right, so all of this is going into a pot, and we're gonna bring that to a boil along with my jars, and then we'll start canning, and I'll show you what those look like. Okay, so while I've got my water going, I decided I would show you what it's gonna look like in the pot. Now I've already put 1 tablespoon of mustard seeds in there, so let's get going. All right, so we're gonna put in, I already got 1 tablespoon, so we're gonna put in 2 tablespoons. This is my second one of mustard seeds. 2 teaspoons of celery seed. I put in my mustard seed, this is celery seed. And this is gonna be 2 teaspoons. So as you see, celery seed, there's 1. There's 2. Then we're gonna, it calls for 1.5 teaspoons of ground turmeric. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do first. Let me put the sugar in. This is 5 cups of sugar. I'm gonna put my turmeric on top of that. And that calls for 1.5 teaspoons. I'm just gonna put in 1/4 of a teaspoon of the turmeric, because it will stain. And honestly, that's probably all it's gonna do is put some color in there for you anyway. And 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves. So I'm just gonna take about this much, and then I'm going to take a knife. It's used very much like what we did, but I don't have my cutting board, but my counter's clean. I'm just going to put the knife over it and kind of crunch them. And just break these up. And then we're going to put this in here. All right, there's that in the pot. So then we're going to have, we got 5 cups of sugar, 2 tablespoons of mustard seed. We have 2 teaspoons of celery seed. I put a 1/4 of a teaspoon of turmeric and then a 1/4 of the cloves that I broke up, and 4 cups of vinegar. And this is a 4½ cup measuring cup, so we're going to 4 cups. Melting that sugar as it goes down. I'm just going to mix this, and we're going to the stove, and I'm going to heat this up to a boil. And once we get over there, I'll show you what I'm doing. All right, just a quick review. Sure, the jars are boiling. Now they've already been sanitized. What I'm doing is heating them up. So I have my lids here in the back and my rings, and then I have my mixture, which is looking really good and smelling so delicious right now. I wish you could smell it. Also, I'm gonna teaspoon in a little bit of this alum in here just to make these pickles crispy. So my jars are about ready. Waiting on this to come to a boil. Once my stuff here, once my brine comes to a boil, we'll be ready to start putting them in the jars. All right, so this came to a boil. I turned it off. I stuffed all my jars, and I have quite a few, but some of them are kind of small. Like these are the 8 ounce, and these are These are 12 ounce jars. All right, let's get to pouring this in here. Oh, I'm so excited. God, it smells so good. My grandmother used to make bread and butter pickles all the time. And my cousin would come over and she would eat the whole jar. My grandmother gets so mad because she'd eat all the jars. All right, so we're just gonna do like we did on the last one. I'm gonna lower my camera down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so pull up a ladle and we're gonna pour this in. And let me show you what that looks like. Because it has turmeric in it, it made it a little yellow. So you can see that we stop right here on this big band. So I'm gonna go ahead and do these. I'm gonna show you one more. And don't forget to take your knife and run them down the side and get those air bubbles out. If you don't, you're going to have air trapped in there. It could cause the lid to explode. We don't want that to happen. We'll just put a tad in each jar, just a tad, like a tablespoon. All right. Your trusty little stick with the magnet on the end to get your lids. And I picked up a couple, which has worked out great. Sometimes they stick together, that's fine. Stick them on there. And you'll notice that they're different colors, because I'm just using what I have. Take your ring, and remember, you're just going to tighten it till it's snug. You don't want to over tighten. Because once you put them back in your once you put them back in your boiling water bath over here, you're gonna cook those, or you're gonna boil those for about 15 minutes. And then they'll be ready to go. And then all you have to do is let all your pickles sit. I would let all of these sit probably about 2 to 3 days just to get the good brine taste in there. Otherwise, you're good to go. If you don't want to wait that long, that's fine. But you're going to have to let them become to room temperature before you put them in the fridge. That can cause some issues. All right, I'm going to finish these and then we'll be back. All right, one more time I'm going to show you how to put them in the water. So you got your jar grabber. And remember, you put your lids on snug, not real tight, if you ran a knife through there. So we're just going to take them and set them right in the water. Just set them side by side, but not touching. And you may see some air bubbles as you're putting these in. Don't worry, it's fine. It's just the air getting around the rims. So you're fine, it's not going in your jar. All right, we'll let these sit for 15 minutes. And then we'll come back and I'll show you what they look like after I take them out. All right, welcome back to the counter. My pickles are done. I just took them out and they're very, very hot. So I have my bread and butter pickles, and I have my garlic and dill pickles, and then I have 3 jars with habanero in there, so my boyfriend's already excited about that. So that's the end of our video for today. I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you can get notified every time we release a new video. So if you've been watching, we've been doing a summer series on foods that you can take to family gatherings or eat at home or picnics, whatever. These pickles are great for that. If you're having hamburgers or hot dogs, that would be wonderful to take. I also have done potato salad. I'll try to put the link right here for you. If not, it'll be in the description in the bottom, a potato salad link for video. And also I did Sweetie Pie's macaroni and cheese. And let me tell you something, that was delicious, but it makes, just a warning, it makes a lot of macaroni and cheese, and I mean a lot. As I said, this is the end for today, but we'll be back for more videos, so stay tuned. We're going to be doing some desserts soon. I'm going to have chocolate pie with meringue on top, which is my most favorite. I've already done a chess pie. Don't forget to look in the link down below, or there may be an end card for you too with that link. So thank y'all so much for coming. Don't forget your sweet tea. As you see, I've been drinking mine because it's been hot in here with all this boiling water. Y'all have a great day. See y'all next time.